Hey, Matt Noren at the Community Workbench. I proudly sponsor the Community Workbench and everything that it represents for local entrepreneurs. And speaking of which, I am a local entrepreneur. I am a realtor with Remax Bell Park in Dayville, Connecticut. Fully licensed in Connecticut to do commercial, rentals, and residential. I absolutely love my job, love working with clients. So if you are in any need for a realtor, please give me a call 860-428-6534. Your dreams are my job. Welcome to the Community Workbench. This is Matt Norn and Kyle Morrissey. We are your hosts of the number one podcast in my basement. At the bench, we try to repair the sense of community. So every week we bring you small businesses, entrepreneurs, community leaders, charities, and pretty much whoever we feel like talking to. And today we feel like talking to Jay and Liz Donahue, owners of Aisling Gym. I said that right?
Yep.
Yeah. So right before the new year, we're all thinking about our New Year's resolutions. And that's why I love having you guys on, because mine every year is to get in shape. Hi, Liz.
Hi.
Hi, Jay.
How we doing, Matt?
How are you guys?
Good, and you?
Good. Thank you for bringing us these beautiful refreshments. We're also drinking Black Pond Brewery peanut butter whoopie pie stout this evening. So just to get those things out, shout out to them. How's the gym industry treating you guys?
Good. Things have been really good. We're getting ready to pick up. January is our biggest, obviously, with the New Year's resolution crew or the we're going to start on Monday crew.
For sure.
Things
Not
happen.
that we discussed that at all. 10 minutes ago.
But no, we're getting ready. We got a lot of big, exciting things coming in the new year. We're switching some things around, mixing things up to try and make it more inclusive for people that want to get involved in fitness.
Yeah. Okay. So what kind of like a modification to the gym, or just more things on a schedule?
So what we've done for the past, 3 years, I'd say or so,
Yeah, probably.
we've outsourced our programming, kind of just like a catch-all, just to kind of streamline the things. But us and our coaching staff, we've gotten better at being hands-on and understanding what our community members need. We have a different gym population than most other gyms.
Okay.
So we're bringing the programming back into house, and then we're adding a couple more tiers of how things work. So if you come into one of our classes, there's it's almost like a blueprint on the board, so to speak. There's 3 different tiers to work towards for how you want to progress in your gym experience. But we're adding a 4th one because some people just want to come in. I want to come in, I want to move, I want to feel better about myself. I don't care about lifting heavy weights. I don't care about doing all these huge gymnastic skills. I just want to work on me. So we're bringing that more into the fold to make it a little less scary and more appealing to people that's what they want to get out of it.
Right.
Because they walk in and they see a 20-something-year-old woman throwing a bunch of weight around. That seems scary. And then you have a lady that's in here who's 65 and she just wants to move. So here's a little kettlebell. This is what you want to get out of it, but you want to keep yourself moving. So we really want to build into that and make that community a little stronger together, where everybody's working towards the same goal.
Gotcha. I will say when I was at your gym, I felt safe. Not. I mean, any kind of workout can be intimidating if you haven't done anything.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Just I felt like you and the other trainers there were, watching me and made sure that I was comfortable with the movement before I put any weight on it. So even just grabbing the light bar and not putting any weight on it, and to start out and just get the technique down. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
that's everybody's
So-
goal. All of our trainers are trained to make sure that you have the technique before you add the weight and before you decide to add the intensity. So
Yeah, and that was really helpful, because I still to this day do not know a whole lot about weightlifting in general.
where your body moves in space.
And it always seems like it's easy to pull muscles more and more now.
Yeah, the older you get, the easier it is. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So that was super helpful, and it was it is one of those things. Not only when you just try to get started in a routine, just that first off is you can either. Some people are excited about it, and there's those weird people, but
Right. Not weird.
and then there are. Oops, I'm trying to silence my phone here now. But yeah, so there's just the whole starting out, and that part is just always an uphill battle, and then the knowledge that you don't have, like not really
Yeah.
knowing, makes another hurdle to
Yeah.
kind of get over. So, yeah, having a trainer is so it puts you so far ahead. I feel like rather than just going to any gym or a 24-hour gym. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but
I was
like
like, hey, we got
No,
one
we
of those-
provide that
we got one of
too.
those mobile-
I know. Not that, and for people that are comfortable with that, go for it. But like for me, like especially if you're gonna get into weightlifting, which could be potentially dangerous,
Oh, yeah, for
then,
sure.
Like having the trainer is such a worth the cost.
And the thing I also like about when you have like a class setting is all of a sudden you're coming, and then you don't see you for 3 or 4 days. Someone in your class like, hey, where you been? What's going on?
Yep.
Is everything okay? And it's like, I gotta get here.
Yeah.
I gotta get here because I don't want to hear it. And it's that accountability on top of it makes a nice extra layer to build
Yeah.
that camaraderie with everybody.
Yeah, and I got calls from both the realtors in our class when I stopped going.
Where did you go? Did you switch to a different time?
No, I kind of fell out. Well, so for me, it was the routine in the morning with the kids, and trying to let my wife get a workout in too, and then like both of us being gone from
Yeah.
the house in the morning before the kids are even awake.
Especially when you have like little ones.
Yeah, they weren't of age yet to do that, and so I basically went back to working out in my basement. And then I stopped altogether.
Well, you know what? Knew you.
I know. We're going to talk about that. I do have goals for this year. And one way or another, I want to work out throughout the year. Whether I hit any of the workout goals, I just want to make sure I'm doing something every day-ish till
Consistency.
this time next year.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those start with even not every day to start because that might be too like lofty. Start with like 3 days a week. Okay, I'll do 3 days a week for a couple weeks. Okay, now I'll try and fit in that fourth day and it works kind of here and build out what works for you. Don't try and go from 0 to 100 because that's when people fall off. You get that burnout. It's like, I'm going to do all this. And it's like, I can't do all this. You know, I'm going to go back and sit on the couch.
Yeah, I will say, so I do P90X when I'm at home. I always have somebody telling me what to do when it comes to working out.
Everybody loves when someone yells at them and tells them what to do. It's great.
Whether it's yelling or nicely talking or Tony's voice is in my dreams.
It's soothing.
And no one can see you cry from your living room.
It's true.
But it's just like, to me, it's like I need guidance for sure. But the just getting the routine, so Monday through Friday, it definitely has a good routine, as did
Yeah.
your place. And then my problem, I think, is the weekends for sure. Is like you get so far off routine on the weekends. Monday becomes that uphill battle, or like a 3-day weekend or a 4-day weekend.
It's especially easy when you have kids too.
Yeah.
Kids have 9 million activities. Oh, we have to be in 5 different places at the exact same time on a Saturday.
And believe it or not, they never want to eat healthy either.
Your children? Oh, mine don't mind eat
Children
kale
in
every
general.
day.
Yeah, they don't like dino nuggets at all.
Pig
No.
liver or chicken liver or
Yeah.
venison.
Mine eat the
Right.
best food possible.
Shocking.
That makes it very hard to. But the other thing I wanted to do this year as a resolution is do more meal prepping on Sundays. So that is the day.
It definitely is that like fail to plan or plan to fail.
Yeah.
It does
Yep.
it does fall in. It has its place.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it also makes you rein it in a little bit on Sunday too.
Right. So if you're
You know,
at
if you're
the
making a
house-
bunch of healthy food, you're like, oh, I'm gonna smash this burger while I'm
Yeah.
making this chicken for the week.
right.
I don't know though. Burger does sound good right now.
So I thought burger was healthy, but
Everything's
All in how you eat
I
it.
just don't eat it with the bread. So like we kind of eliminate carbs for the most part. And when there was a point a couple of years back where I had lost 30 pounds. It was a meat and a vegetable, 1 meal a day, 24-hour fasting, and that was a tough regimen, but it was working. And
That's because you established a routine.
right, and just now I feel like because our routines got even more hectic because as the kids get older, they do more stuff, and we do more stuff, and but I think if we can incorporate meal prepping, the diet part will be easier.
That's the hardest part. People think it's
Yeah.
the gym. It's not. It's
No.
Yeah.
what you do outside of the gym or outside of working out or anything you do. That's the hard part.
I can't count how many people said, "Well, I just wanted to see my abs." That was one goal, like to
Yeah.
someday see my abs again. And they're like, "Dude, abs are made in the kitchen." I'm like, "Are you sure?"
Are you sure I can't just do 50 sit-ups a day and find my abs? We hear that a lot.
Yeah.
How do I get abs? I'm like, well, what does your diet look like? How do you eat? How often do you eat?
Yeah, I
How
can.
much water do you drink?
I can walk by a bar, no problem. A candy dish, It's like can't-
That's what gets you?
Oh my god, every time. Sugar. If we put out a candy dish, I will make up reasons to walk by it.
I have to go to the bathroom in the kitchen. That was one thing I had to eliminate with sugar too. I get it.
Yeah. So if we cut down on sugar, do some meal prepping, and just make sure we move, 4 or 5 days a week. I feel like those are my goals for this year.
Yeah, people always ask us when they're brand new. They're like, "How often do I need to come?" As often as you think you can make it. That doesn't seem intimidating, and I usually tell people at least 3 days a week to start, and then
Yeah. Well, you guys have great packages for that too.
We do,
So
yeah.
If you want to talk about that, I mean, go for it, because
Well, there's a lot of packages, but we also try to do what works for people. So when you come in, what are your expectations? What are you trying to get? How often do you want to come, so we can build things out for them? So there's a set price list, but not really, because, well, I'm going to do a little bit of this, I'm going to do a little bit of that, so we can kind of encompass it all together.
nice, and work with people's budget.
Yeah, and now we've
Awesome.
made it a little bit easier, streamlined too. So all of our class plans come with access to the 24/7 weight room. So if I'm a 5:15 in the morning every day, I can go. But something happens, kids are sick or something. Well, I can make it 6 o'clock at night. You can come in, get your workout in over there, because you can see what the workout was on your phone.
Oh,
Go
wow.
right in there, get your workout in, and then go home at your
what a-
convenience.
What a great addition to that.
it is.
Awesome.
That is one of the best things, and we've got a lot of really great feedback about the fact that people can come in, and if they miss their class time, everybody gets out of they get out of routine, out of whack
Right,
when they
yeah.
miss their time,
Yeah.
but they can still come in and.
You're eliminating my excuses.
We're trying really hard over here.
Point.
I mean, aren't you there when your kid does jujitsu anyway?
Yeah.
Wow, that's an hour. He could probably.
I saw him in the lobby.
Was he on his phone eating a candy bar?
No, we were chatting.
She didn't see that part.
I did. I missed
can't
the
really
candy bar.
make it to class right now, but don't mind this Milky Way in my mouth.
I will say that's still new to us, and I really like watching him. So
It is fun. It is fun to watch. My kids did jujitsu with Ron too.
Yeah.
There's something to be said about like how he teaches them and learning it. Yeah, and
Yeah.
seeing how your kid is progressing. It's really cool.
And yes, Sebastian all the time. If Sebastian wants
I
to try it.
know.
Yeah.
I think he would be the youngest addition to their class, and they would probably kick him out in a week. But Ron asks
Ron's
him
pretty
every
good.
Thursday. He's
Yeah.
like, "Are you coming? Are you coming on the mat today?"
Yeah. Yeah, he does walk in and out a lot. He looks in.
Oh, he
and
just wants to
watches, and then
watch.
He comes out. Yeah.
He follows Ron around like a lost puppy.
He's-
He just wants to know what Ron is doing, like at all times.
He's secretly training at night.
He's learning. He's learning.
Ron is a great character. He's
He
just
is.
like just this magnetic. Either if it's just because you want to be friends with him, or he has so much knowledge, or
Yeah.
he's just like this magnetic.
That was, I think it was a
pull.
couple days before Christmas. I walked in, she was teaching, I was coming in from work, and I walked in, and here he is teaching all the kids in the Santa suit. I was like, wait, hold on. Oh, okay, yep, that's going, okay.
Every year.
Yeah, the Santa suit. Yeah, we were there for that. That was cool. And then, he was giving them out their bands. So like every 4 months they get a band.
Yeah, they got a stripe on their belt or a new belt. Yeah.
Yeah, and we didn't quite have a gi yet for Matthew, so they put it around his finger.
Oh.
Don't worry, you'll break your finger at some point in jujitsu, and this is how you repair it. He got the band.
It's a
on.
learning lesson.
Yeah, so he has a gi now, and I'm curious to see what happens on Thursday when he goes in. So we'll see if they give him the band, but
Yeah, it'll be good.
it's pretty cool. And it's just it's fun to watch, and like Matthew has no fear, and there's been a few times he's been in compromising positions, or his partner's been in compromising position, and I'm like, what's gonna happen? And then and Ron or somebody comes in and either says something, or they
Figure it
work
out.
it out, and it's no one gets knock on wood.
Has yet to get hurt
Right.
is what you
No
wanted.
one's really been like seriously injured or anything. So
I think it's pretty rare. I think even as kids, they're pretty good about like, oh,
Yeah.
it's time to tap.
yeah, and they have a lot of coverage. Like there's quite a few.
There's a
other-
lot of coaches there
Yeah,
with
a
the
lot of
kids. Yeah,
coaches.
they're good.
Some of the times it's like it's like quite a good ratio of
Yeah.
adults to children.
kids.
So
And to those who are listening that don't know, we do have a Team Squared Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu studio inside of the walls of the gym. That's who we're talking about, in case you're unaware.
yeah,
Little plug for Ron and his team.
That's
yep,
right.
yep. They were on last July.
I was like, unless you missed that podcast
Yeah,
episode.
yeah, they were on, and I never always shout them out.
Yeah.
This is like that's such a cool thing.
We go there. It's fun. Everybody go there.
Yeah, for the, I mean, discipline aspect, the art.
It's a good
martial
constructive
yeah.
way for kids to get energy out.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
exactly. And the warm ups are insane. I was like, maybe we should do that at CrossFit.
Some
we
of
play
them, yeah.
dodgeball and stuff. Musical med
Well, they
balls.
do the tug of war sometimes, and they'll do the human wheelbarrow thing, and just those like relay races.
Can you
and-
imagine trying to get adults to do that fun stuff?
Well, I was very.
They
curious.
roll their eyes at me enough.
I was curious to see what happens in the adult jujitsu classes. Like, does that how he warms them up too?
Some of their like dynamic stuff is the same. I don't think they do wheelbarrows,
Yeah.
but I bet they do carry each other, and they definitely
Right,
do a
yeah.
lot of the same, like the jumping jacks and all that. Like it might look silly because kids are doing it and they don't know
Yeah.
what they're doing, but the adults do a lot of the same stuff.
The other day they had them start in the middle of left and right wall, and it was 2-on-1. So like they sit back to back, and two of them are trying to stop one from going to the other end of the gym
Oh.
and tag the wall. Meanwhile, those two, if they can drag the one over to tag the wall, and I was like, they're outnumbered. How is this going to work? And some of them got away
Figured it
and
out.
tagged the wall and figured
Gotta
it
be
out.
fast.
And then some of them were dragged over. It was a cool exercise, though.
You got to really want it for that, though. I don't think I'm competitive enough for that. I'd be like, just drag me back to my space.
But I think it's like a good routine in seeing what it's like if two people mug you.
Yeah.
kind
It's
thing.
true,
Or
yeah.
If you feel outnumbered, like you're now in a situation where you're outnumbered and
It's a good life skill.
the
You
adrenaline.
gotta figure it out.
Figure it out, yeah, and just try to outthink two people instead of
Yeah.
one kind of thing.
That's I think my teenagers always remember from Ron that like you're not trying to hurt somebody. You just need to hold
Right.
him until someone comes to help you.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
I think was one of the like big things that carried over with my teenagers because when they were younger, we weren't really sure how big they were going to be because I'm not a very big person, and we weren't really sure how tall or large they were going to be, and they're all still kind of gangly. They're not, they're not always the strongest people around, but I think that learning that like just how to hold someone down and like subdue them until someone, especially
Right.
when they were younger, right? If someone's bullying you or they're coming at you. You just got to hold them,
right,
even if they're bigger than you. Just hold them down
yeah,
and get
Yep.
someone to come help you. I think that was a good discipline aspect because like
right,
you're learning these skills, but you're not trying to like hurt them or take them down. You're just trying to
Right.
like stop yourself from getting hurt.
yeah. And I mean, like you look at MMA, like cage fighting, obviously a way different level than
Yeah.
what's going on at your gym, but the fighters will do this hype for the TV and camera and stuff, but they all like love each other.
Oh yeah,
It's
They
like,
get there
they're
and hug it out.
they're not in there because they hate each other. They're in there because they're doing an art form,
And they wanna win.
It's about problem solving.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool.
it is very cool.
But were you gonna say something?
No,
Oh, all right.
I'm just agreeing with everything.
He just likes what we're saying. Yeah, guys.
You have the 24-hour gym. You have CrossFit classes, and you have spin classes.
Spin classes. We have a HIIT class, kickboxing class,
Oh, that's right.
another variation of HIIT class, like it's called Step Up to the Bar, where she does a bunch of different things in that class. And then we also have Saturday classes. We have an aerobic capacity, which is just working on machines, building your body's engine, which transfers over to pretty much anything else you want to do active ways. And we always have like a partner workout, so you can come in and work out with a friend or make a new friend. So we try and offer something 7 days a week.
Yeah, and then you guys have like, if you're part of a different CrossFit or anything, you can come in and just do a class for
Yeah.
a flat
Oh yeah, we
fee,
do
right?
drop-in rates for
Drop-in
reciprocal
rate, yeah.
benefits, like people that contact us. It's only $10 to drop in. So
Yeah.
if you're visiting, we have a guy that routinely visits his parents. That he grew up here, but he lives in. Does he live in New York City?
Chicago.
Chicago, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And he comes in. He was actually in on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, because I have a buddy that works out in one town that's like an hour away from his other buddy, but they're constantly going back and
Back and
forth.
Oh yeah, yeah. Most CrossFit gyms are really
Yeah.
good about that community reciprocal benefits. Like I've called one in Florida before. Our oldest son was doing the CrossFit Open,
Oh,
and I called him and I was like, "We just need a place. I'll judge him." And she was like, "Yeah, come on in." And then we bought T-shirts so that we
So,
didn't.
talk to me a little bit more about the CrossFit Open, because that's like every level as well, too, right? There's like
They have expanded it. Yes, the Open has expanded. It was like not elite athletes, but it's a qualifying for the next part to the CrossFit Games.
yeah,
But they have recently, was it last year or the year before, they added like scaling.
I think it was 2 years ago.
Yeah. So you can do it at what's called RX, so as written. So that's what the games athletes are going to do to qualify. And then there's a scaled version. And is there a different version?
There's a foundations.
There's a foundations version now. And then if you're masters, so if you're over a certain age, there's a masters version, which is a different level of weights and movement. So it's just like we do in classes. Everything can be scaled to keep everybody safe, but the open and the games now do it too, which is really cool. We encourage everybody to participate with us in the open because it's a good foundation for your fitness. It's a good base level to know where you are. And it runs in end of February to beginning of March usually.
First week
It's
of
3
March.
weeks, one workout each week.
Yeah.
And CrossFit puts it out and we don't know either. Everybody thinks we have some inside information. We have no idea what the workout's going to be until it gets released.
Yeah.
CrossFit
We
puts
tune
out
in
a
Thursday
video.
just like everybody else. What are we doing this week? Oh.
Like we can guess.
Oh, so they
we're
give
pretty
them,
good at guessing.
like a week ahead of time.
No,
No,
a day ahead of time.
literally
See,
the day
there's no time
before.
to prep. So they announce it
Oh.
on Thursday, and you have till Monday night to get it done.
And that's every week of the year.
And no, it's just
those
for 3 weeks.
Oh, that's for that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a way
'cause
to
it's a
build like the
qualifier.
community to get people to come together.
Yeah.
Like most gyms, they do like a party, like a Friday night lights they call it, where everybody comes together and does the workout and cheers each other on. So it's a way to just kind of build community within the walls.
And we expanded it last year, and we did a an inside competition. So we formed teams with everybody that wanted to participate in the open, and then we had like a team cup.
Yeah.
So then, if you won, you got. Did they get a T-shirt?
I think they were supposed to.
So I think they got a T-shirt. And we have a banner in the gym with their team name and all their names on it. So
Yeah.
Cool.
Wow. That is cool.
it was fun. I think they liked it.
Thank you for our garb.
Of course.
Yeah.
You guys are
Wear
so
it all the
generous
time.
with this. Yeah.
That one is my favorite.
Yeah.
It's so comfy. I'm usually partial to the zip-ups.
Oh, okay. I have so many hoodies. There's like it's like a perimeter shelf in our walk-in closet of just hoodies folded all the way around it. Sitting vertical like books.
Same. But you ever notice you
Yeah.
resort to like the same like 4 or 5? They're all there, but it's like,
happen.
I'm gonna wear
Yeah.
this one again.
But you can't
Yeah.
get rid of them.
No, because then you feel bad. You're like, oh, I haven't worn you in a while.
I know.
But I feel like you today. So,
Yeah. And I feel like wearing the same one I wore yesterday. So here we are.
yeah, and you never stop buying them. That's-
Nope.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't stop buying them. They
Well, I-
represent somewhere you've been.
yeah.
Yeah. I have certain ones like the Eastford Building Supply ones are like my work ones, and that's I got those when I was a contractor, so they're pretty rough shape. But it's a crew and a hoodie that fit together really well, so
Oh,
you can wear
nice.
layers when it's cold.
Yeah.
And then same the rest of them, pretty much all Remax embroidered on them. So I just always try to have that out when I'm walking around and stuff like
Well,
that.
we got stopped, yesterday?
Yep.
With this hoodie
Mhm.
somewhere. The guy stopped us. He was like, oh, is that a brewery? And I was like, nope, this is my
This-
gym. Where is that?
Brewery.
And I was like,
Tell me
Yeah.
what brewery. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'd love to hear from
You did your workout. Here's a beer.
Hey,
Good job. Here's 2.
I-
There's a lot of 5Ks that are like that.
I can't understand that, but there are.
A lot of them, like the ones at Hartford Marathon does, they do
Yeah.
the next ones they have. It's the Lucky Challenge, which is 4 or 5Ks around St. Patrick's Day. 2 of them end at breweries, and then the other 2 they have like local beers they give you.
Right.
I
Well,
mean,
since
they're not doing it for health. Like, they're doing it
They're
to
doing
make
it for
money
fun.
No.
and to raise money for whatever. And,
Right.
Yeah.
you know,
hang on a sec. My dad was a big runner, and he ran like 40 hours a week. Had all the different like one day he's running 16 miles, another day he's running 3 plus hills
Yeah.
plus the sprinting. I won't say what we call
Can't
them in
say that
gym.
You're not allowed to call that anymore.
But he would do those things, and then sometimes I was a soccer player, so I ran with him sometimes, and then we would do keg races, and I was like, it's so weird to me, and I wasn't even 21. I'm like, keg race? Why do we call it keg race? There's a keg at the end of the run, which motivated some people, but yeah, it was just funny.
We ran the Hartford Marathon this year, and I think it was the Thomas Hookery Brewery had like a special beer and a special can just for the people that did it. And I'm like, all right, here we go.
So you ran
that
the
can is saved in our
26.4 mile. Good job, man.
Many times.
Congratulations. Oh wow, you guys.
well, last
I
year
did
you were
3
doing.
of them this year. Yeah, we were talking about it.
Yeah, Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we
the
How did that
Disney-
go?
That was his first, yeah.
I was
Disney
gonna
was the
say,
first,
I thought that was.
And
the
then we ran New
first.
Hampshire in May, and then we ran October. We ran the Hartford, and then Saturday I did my first 50K ultra in Hamden.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
wow. 50K.
31.07 miles.
Okay.
Oh my
People don't like to drive that.
Yeah.
god. No. Did you pack a lunch?
We ate a lot of
Many,
snacks.
many
Lots of
lunches.
snacks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you
So
pack a lunch?
do
That was
you
the best response ever.
They did have some good like New Haven pizza at the end though. I would say that. That was
yeah.
Oh, wow.
that was nice.
no beer?
Oh no, there was beer.
Oh,
We
there
were in the
was
parking
beer.
lot,
There
and then I
was
heard
beer.
maybe on the way home. I'm like, I need to stop for.
But it was in a state park.
Yeah,
So
we had to
you
wait
couldn't-
until like they
you
were
couldn't
done.
like drink during.
The
had
guy's
to
like, I'd
wait.
like to be able to come back and do this again next year. So there's no alcohol. So we waited till he was all packed up.
Like, don't.
wow.
He was basically like, don't ruin this for me.
Yeah.
Like, this took a lot of planning. Please don't ruin this for me.
You know, he might see this.
Oh, he saw us
said
drinking
they
as he drove
waited.
away.
They waited till the end. Well, then they still had to drive home. So obviously, this wasn't like a.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't know if I ran that far. I think I would need a driver to bring me home.
Uber. Where's
That was-
that app on my
That was the
phone?
thing because it was cold and like rainy and wet. So get in the truck, turn the heat on. Like halfway home, me and the guy that drove me were both like, we gotta stop for coffee.
Yeah.
Just
Oh,
like
yeah.
starting to get like warm and thought. It's like we need coffee. I know
Yeah.
it's 6 o'clock at night, but I need a cup of coffee to get home.
Wow. What's the coldest you've run it?
I think we ran. I think it was like 4 or 5 last year.
Yeah. I mean, it shouldn't shock me. My dad ran year round. It was a
I'll take cold. It's
Yeah.
when it's rainy. It's just miserable.
rainy sucks.
Just hitting you in the face. It's just not fun.
I will say, sometimes when I'm splitting wood, I will do, especially if it's rainy, I will do. You split a wheelbarrow full.
Have a beer.
That's a good idea, but no, it's heavy equipment.
idea.
So I don't. But you get a wheelbarrow full, 10 push-ups, go dump the wheelbarrow.
Wow.
Do wheelbarrow full sit-ups, and it's to me, especially when it's raining, like it keeps you warmed up, and it makes you kind of like muddy. And like,
Yeah.
I'm like, feel like
a real
some sort of
man.
Yeah.
some sort of boot camp or a real man doing real stuff. You know?
Your dad never made you do that when you were cold. Do some jumping jacks.
No,
My
it
dad
was
used to do that to me.
the.
Oh, you're cold? Do some jumping jacks.
Oh yeah, that's always
You'll be
been a
fine.
thing. That was always a remedy.
Yeah.
Oh, move more.
Put another pair of socks on.
Go do something.
Yeah.
Just not inside.
Yeah.
But yeah, actually, splitting wood was a pastime. My dad would just be like, "I'm going in the woods." My brother and I would always follow him, and that was like, that's kind of why I still do it. I think, and my brother still does it because it's just,
It's work.
and it's just our connection to him because he passed away when we were
Yeah.
really young. So,
Keeps all those memories alive.
yeah, the smell of it, the smell of a wood stove, it's like brings you right back,
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing.
It is true. Nothing beats wood stove heat.
And mine's not running right now because it's over 50 degrees outside.
It is
Yeah.
warm.
Warmed right
Yeah.
up.
Our
That
child
seems-
played in a hose today, so
Oh.
he's crazy. And 3. So it happened.
Say that again. What happened?
He was playing in the hose today. We were pumping water out of the pool, and he was playing in the hose,
Oh wow!
soking wet. Oh yeah,
Wow.
he thought it was the greatest day ever.
Yeah.
I think each of his snow boots weigh like 20 pounds, soaked with water today. Oh yeah,
It's a good workout.
Yeah,
So he's a fun time.
You should have told him to go running.
Oh, he does.
I don't think he could have. I don't think he could have gotten very far in those boots.
He tried.
All of his clothes weighed a ton.
You work on your vertical.
Jump
around.
up here, build those quads.
That's funny. The closest thing I've ever seen to that was lobster guy comes in, and this was October, and when we go to Maine, and lobster guy comes in, and he's hosing down the boat. Next thing you know, he drops all the yellow suit, the poncho, and everything. Hoses himself off in his skivvies. No, I'm sorry. Him and his dog jump in the ocean,
Oh,
wash
God.
up, and then they get it back out on the dock and then hose themselves off with fresh water. And I was just like, we're like,
That's a real.
that is a real Maine guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like,
Like, you know what?
You've lived
You
here
can,
your whole life.
Yeah, or you were in a parka or that sweatshirt you tried to steal from that guy.
that's sorry, that is a little bit of an inside joke.
Funny.
So we were,
But it's fun.
we were at a place in Maine, and the guy was like closing up for the season. There's a lot of seasonal stuff up there,
Yeah.
little diner. And he had this sweatshirt hanging up, and it had the name of the diner on the sweatshirt, and so it looked like to me
I thought it was for sale.
For sale,
Yeah.
and so I took it off the hanger and tried it on, and I said, "Hey, how much do you want for this sweatshirt?" And he goes, "Well, actually, that's my sweatshirt." Us and our wives, we just could not stop laughing because it was like a huge like intrusion.
Were you like, so you don't want to sell it?
Basically, you could have told me.
I mean, I'd
anything.
still buy it.
I
Well,
mean-
he had a whole trash bag full of that size. I don't know why he just wasn't like, yeah,
Sure,
it's
you can
this
have
much,
that
and
one.
I'll take it.
But
or whatever.
I don't know if it was pre-worn or not. Because I had a long
People-
sleeve
people
shirt
pay
on.
more for
I
that
mean,
now.
you already
right,
you
yeah.
already put it on
yeah,
your body.
yeah.
Oh, that's our
At that
vintage
point.
line.
Yeah, that
It's
one's
an extra $10.
Yeah. So, he doesn't get away with anything all year
Yeah,
without that
we were
coming.
laughing. Isn't that when we discovered banana beer or whatever, banana bread
Yeah,
beer?
not
But
that, but
it was like the last
yeah.
one on the shelf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a
End
great
of the
day.
season.
Oh my god.
Gave me content and a banana beer. Oh man.
And you drinking a banana bread beer gives me content.
Was it awful?
You're here. No, he just hates fruity beer.
Okay.
It's delicious, and a lot of other people think so.
See, I don't even like the garnishes on mixed drinks, like a lime or a lemon or whatever, like on a Captain and Coke
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So I'm just like, you can save the garnish. It's okay.
Please don't give me that wedge of lime.
Yeah. I just think it's an intrusion of taste. If I
Don't
want a
give-
lime, I'll bite a lime.
Don't give me fruit.
I don't think you're supposed to
I
eat
think we're
the
venturing
lime.
into some other problems here. Don't
Yeah.
give me
Yeah.
fruit.
Yeah, the healthies. Oh,
Yeah, don't make my drink healthy, please.
Yeah.
Get that out of here. No green stuff.
Well, if you're gonna drink, you're gonna drink. You know, if you're gonna cheat, you gotta cheat, right?
Yeah, but you cheat
guess.
less is better. Yeah.
You cheat with fruit.
All right.
Is it better?
So that's one thing. I'm glad we brought it up.
Cheating?
Because, well, a lot of people think like it's a cheat day, and I would say try to keep it to a cheat meal. If you,
That's usually the
trying to-
goal. Yeah. Especially just to not be a cheat weekend,
right.
which we all fall very, very victim to.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, and
but,
then
yeah.
you know, and if to me, like if I'm having a cheat meal, it still usually has a huge amount of protein because I love
Yeah.
a
Like it.
slab of meat
Yeah.
or whatever.
Mhm.
So,
Most people tend to cheat on with their desserts.
yeah,
It's not necessarily the meal that gets you way off track because you could
Right.
eat healthy all day knowing that cheat meal is coming. You could still be okay with eat the potatoes, eat the bread, like go for it.
right,
But it's when you get into the sugar
yeah,
that starts to derail a bunch of people. And then it's more about like not stopping.
yeah.
Yep, that's also a
Like
problem.
how I had that dessert last night. So what stops me from having dessert tonight? Like I ate great all day. I can
Yeah.
eat that Oreo as I walk by that bag of things that my 3-year-old made me buy.
Yeah, and then you're like, I threw away the box. I don't even know how many
Yeah,
calories this
I
whole
mean, I
thing
have
is.
no
so that's
idea.
fine.
I have no
I'll
idea what's happening.
I'll just finish it now, and then I don't have to eat it tomorrow.
Right. Yeah, then it'll be gone.
Right.
I will say that did help me when I was doing well on my diet was you can get apps on your phone to
Tracking.
scan
Yeah.
barcodes
Yeah.
and actually count your calories. Because when I started, I had no idea what I was eating. I must have been hitting on 6,000 or more easily.
And then all of a sudden you look
A
like,
day?
oh,
Every
okay, this
day?
makes
And
sense.
when I started measuring what calories were and
Once
how
you figured
much
out what they were,
how much it takes to burn them, just like
you're like,
Yeah.
this is why my dad ran so much.
well, yeah. And he said this. I remember him saying the same thing because he got on the 2,000 calorie a day diet
Yeah.
too, and he was just like, it must have been well over 6. And then I was like, well, what did he know? And then just like start
Now you know.
counting them myself. I'm like, wow, it's just like it's crazy. Like, you know, you eat a 15-minute meal and then it takes like 4 hours of cardio
Yeah.
to like, burn it off.
You couldn't possibly
But-
do that much cardio. You don't have that much time.
I
in the
know.
day.
Well, I did narrow it down to like my cut weight I was good for my one meal a day. It had to be 1,800 calories to about 21. If I hit over 2,100 calories, I was gaining weight.
Yeah.
It's good to know your window.
Yeah.
That's whenever people ask us to run their macros. I'm like, all right, before we tell you what you should be eating, like in this window,
Yeah.
download MyFitnessPal, track what you're eating every day, and let's see if you're overeating or undereating.
But then
Yeah.
it just makes you feel bad every day you go over it.
Well, it's not meant to make you feel bad. It's just meant to make you be aware of what you're putting into your body.
And honestly, it sucks, but it's reality too. You know, it's like everyone. I've had people come to me and be like, "Well, I never had to cut." You know, they're cutting weight somehow, and one
Some
person,
people are just super fortunate.
well, that, but also one person was coming up to me. He had lost about the same amount as I had, and he was like, "Oh, I don't have to cut calories." And I was like, well, "What are you doing?" And he ended up telling me how he's on this program where he orders. It's like 3 meals in a box plus 2
Oh, yeah.
snacks, and I'm like,
There's
"Well,"
a lot of those that exist.
I'm like, "Well, you're paying a company to count calories for.
Yeah.
That's all it is."
Right,
It's
so
like,
he doesn't have to count or track. If
Right.
someone sends it to you, there's one factor. There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
We've used a lot of them. There's a lot of really great like frozen meal companies that'll send
Yeah.
you a perfectly portioned meal, but
Mm.
it doesn't always equate because like those portions were the same if I was eating one and he was eating one, and our macros are not the same.
right.
Clearly,
Yeah.
they're
Yep.
not the same. Like our caloric needs are not the same. I don't run for starters, and I am smaller. Like they're not the same. You know,
Yeah.
we do not have the same
Right.
macros in a day.
Yeah.
But the meals come the same. So some of them are built for you, which is really
Right,
cool.
that's what I thought.
But you're still counting calories.
Yeah.
You're just not personally counting your
Right.
calories.
You're paying someone to.
Someone else
count
is
your
doing it. You're
calories.
paying like
Yeah.
a nutritionist.
Right. And it, like to me, if I meal prep on Sundays, I feel like I'll have a better chance of counting calories for each meal.
Well, you've already planned it out.
Right.
You don't have to count it every day.
Right. And then it just sinks in the routine thing. So
Yeah, routine is definitely. We tell that to people all the time. The hardest part is getting through the door.
yeah.
As soon as you're through the door, you're not. Well, you're gonna walk out. You're not gonna.
I've
leave.
done that.
You're already there. I mean, there have been times I have wanted to, but you're already there. You're in the door. Give it 2 weeks. Make a habit. A month is realistically like the easiest way to do it. That's why we always run. The promotion we're gonna run is $60 for 60 days.
Yep.
So you get January and February for $60, and if it doesn't work for you, you can just tell us it's not working, and there's no sweat off of us. Like if it's not for you, it's not for you, and that's okay. We're not
Yeah.
dragging anybody along. But
Yeah. That's an awesome. I love that you guys do that every year.
Yeah, it just lets people try every class. If they want to even
Yeah.
try like the 24/7 gym, they can try everything.
Yeah.
Because what works for you might not work for me, which doesn't work for her, which doesn't work for Kyle. So it's kind of lets people figure out what works for them and what they're trying to get out of things. Then they can that's when we have the discussion of, okay, what are you trying to get out of it if they want to keep
Right.
going? And that's where all the different like price points and stuff come in.
Yeah. You can build their package out.
yeah, catch up with people at the end of February and be like, hey, stay in.
No.
What works for you? Where are we?
Now that's independent of Team Squared, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Just so.
Yeah,
For
they
sure.
just
so
they just
everybody
lease the
knows.
space from us.
Yeah. So, which is also a great workout.
Mm-hmm.
Jiu-jitsu,
Oh, I'm sure.
rolling on the ground with
Watch them walk
Another-
outside, just like steam coming off. I'm like,
That looks
that
hard.
was fun.
Yeah,
yeah.
they had a
so,
good day.
That's really cool. So, do you guys provide education on like macros and stuff like that?
Yeah.
You guys.
We have an in-body scanner at the gym, so anybody can come and do an in-body, even if they're not a member. You just have to make an appointment with me, and we can run your scan and see, how your body breakdown is. So it weighs your whole body, measures out the water weight, the muscle mass versus the fat mass. Run you a scan, it'll give us what's called a TDEE, so it's like your base
Yeah.
calories for the day that you need to be like completely sedentary. So let's just say
Right.
you do nothing ever.
Yeah.
You don't even like walk around your house, and it'll give us that, and we can run macros off of that if people ask.
Yeah. Sadly, mine was like high 1500, and,
It's sad.
and
right,
after
when you look at it.
1900, I'm gaining weight.
I mean, it'll break it down. I mean, it breaks down a lot of different things for you. It's
Yeah.
hard. It's a hard measurement for people who are active, though, because sometimes you have to take into account that if you have a higher muscle mass, you do need more calories than what it's giving you, which is something that, talking to somebody about your macros plays into.
Yeah, I will say like for me, I have a hard time hitting all the protein that I need
That's
in a
most
day
people say that. Yeah.
to gain muscle or even maintain it. And
Yeah.
a lot of people don't realize how like it starts when you're like 25, where it's just
The
like
decline.
harder and
Mm.
harder. And it's so early in life that it's just like, oh, you need to start paying attention to this, or you will.
Before you're ready to pay attention to it. Because
Yeah.
then in your
Yeah.
30s, you start thinking about it and you're like, I should start thinking about this. And you're like, oh, I needed this like 5 years ago.
I guess I'm a late bloomer. Like 38.
Some
when
would
I
say that,
decided to
Do you have a story about that too?
Well, for me, I had a very physical job up until I got into real estate like
Then it's
7
just
years
different.
ago.
Yeah.
And that was, and then COVID hit too, and like everybody was sedentary.
Yeah. COVID did a number on a lot of people.
Yeah. Do you guys want to tell the origin story of Aisling Gym?
That's a him story.
So it started actually, interestingly enough, when I was in my 30s.
Okay.
I kind of, we'll just say, adventured my way through my 20s.
Hey.
We'll go with that for a
you were
good
the
term.
guy in the other room with adventuring through the 20s.
Yeah.
So I went to the doctor and got really bad like things with the physical, talking just, you're pre this, your blood pressure's here, all these things are bad. So I went and started working out, lifting with my uncle and my cousin. If you were around this area long enough, back when the Key Gym was the thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we started. That's kind of where the idea for the 24/7 came about. Like down the road that's where I got my roots, and it's just it works with people. So I did that for a while, and then there was a CrossFit gym that used to be in Woodstock. And I drove by. I'm like, oh, I'm fit enough. I can do this. I do this. I work out 5 days a week. I run all this stuff. And I walked in and got like the floor mop with me.
Wow.
My ass handed to me on a platter, and I was like, okay, so I need to come back and do this again.
Yeah. Wow.
And then started doing that. Did that for a while. And then started really enjoying it and wanted to be more part of the community. So then I want to start trying to help people. They needed another coach. So I went and got my first certification, started coaching with them. Down the road, got some more certifications. Kind of my philosophy just differed from what everybody else wanted. So I kind of wanted to do my own thing. And there was this void between where that gym was and where the other next CrossFit gym was. And it's right in my backyard.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I decided to open that up and step back from my career at the time. And just more certifications, bringing more people on, trying to find different ways to help people.
Wow.
We started with just CrossFit, and my mom taught one or two TRX classes a week. Then we built in a spin class, and this was all within less
Our
than
tiny
3,000 square
walls
feet.
of job lot. Yeah.
Yeah, less than 3,000 square feet.
Yeah.
Then COVID hit, we lost that lease because they wanted money, and it's a whole thing down the road. We didn't have money because we couldn't be open for 3 months.
Right.
And then someone's like, hey, right over here where Deere's Gymnastics used to be, it's been vacant for a while. We talked to them, and then we moved in there. And then they were ready to sell. So we ended up buying that building. The other tenant moved out, and then we took over the whole thing. And then just allowed to offer another program, and then do more things for more people and try and find other ways to help people. Like this year was our 9th year for our toy drive. I'm not sure if you saw anything on that. We had a huge outpouring of support from people and local businesses. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
That's also one of my favorite times of year to talk about something that just makes you happy, just watching
Yeah.
that kind of stuff happen.
Now, was that correlated with the Chop Shop? We had the Chop
Yeah,
Shop
we
on.
partnered
Okay.
with them.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, this is our second year working with Ryan and his crew
Yeah.
for all that stuff. So it's pretty cool.
So they raised like 3,900 this year.
Yeah.
broke
They
the
did
record.
amazing. I think
That's
they
awesome.
doubled their money from last year.
Yeah.
It was crazy. He got himself really on the map with that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did
and
awesome.
He's continuing to try and open it up to other barbershops to do it all on the same day.
I think
and
people
try and
just
push it.
didn't know that it
Right.
was happening.
Yeah, and I told him, every year, just let us know.
Yeah.
And we'll try and schedule him for the Monday before it happens. I was there. I got my hair cut for the
That's
first
right.
time. How old Riley is.
Well, we had a few members come in and they were like, "Where do all these toys come from?" And I mentioned it about the Chop Shop, and one of our friends who's a member and a coach was like, "Oh, I would have brought my kid to have his haircut. I didn't realize it was this day."
Yeah.
And I text Ryan. I was like, "I think we need to up the social media about it because it just didn't carry."
Yeah.
Or hang up signs even at the gym,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like so that people know. Like we put out a flyer, but
Right.
we put it out on social media. We didn't have it like physical presence for like jujitsu people or whoever to see. So if they're not following us or friends with us, then they didn't see it.
Right. Yeah. So, next year for sure,
Could be
let us
massive.
know.
Yeah.
And whether we have you in here for the pre-recorded commercial that goes on Thursdays and or I love pushing the Tommy Toy Fund and
Yeah, and that's the cool thing with this year because when you do
All that
donate to
stuff.
Tommy Toy Fund, it doesn't necessarily stay local. It goes to a distribution center and it gets spread everywhere. Everything we got this year was either went to like the DCF or the new Brooklyn Cares Community Center. So everything that was donated stayed local.
Right.
which was awesome. And then I think she said if they had anything overflow, they'd work with other Parks and Recs departments locally and stuff. So it really kept it in this area.
Yeah. So Tommy Toy Fund was on, and they were talking to us about how it does stay regional.
Oh, good.
So like, they try to do the same thing. The local donations that get to go to that area, and it helps with shipping. You know,
Yeah.
why bring it down to New London if they've donated it here? You know
Right,
what I mean?
yeah.
So like, the only thing is if there is a shortage, like one year, one of the places where they stored the toys had a huge leak, massive. Destroyed like all their books and stuff. So like that, and there was another fundraising charity that helped them out, like gave them their share or whatever. So it was kind of cool that they
That's a cool
kinda
thing
came
to learn.
together.
Yeah.
But yeah, we and then we also do the food pantries and stuff like that, and I just like love to have people utilize this platform for that, because I just feel like that's what we're here for. Like
I feel like it's good to know. People
to
don't
put those
know
communities
how
and
many
get
food
the
pantries
shout
there are.
outs. Yeah.
So I say, if you're in a position to help people, why not help people?
Right.
Even if it's this platform or anything, even like using the gym to collect toys, it's like,
Yeah.
how can you help? I mean, this is how long we've had that sneaker shoebox up for the shoe donations.
Yeah, 3. That girl graduated that started it. So
And doesn't her sister
3,
do it now or
4
something?
years now. Her sister does it. Yeah. From
So we
Woodstock.
don't use like gym shoes and stuff. There's just the box, and they take care of them and reuse them.
Yeah, that's right. Because CrossFit like recommends that every like 6 to 8 months you get new shoes. Right?
Like a minimum of 6 months, you should get new shoes. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and
If you
like,
wear them every day, if you work out 5 days a week, those shoes see some wear.
Serious mile.
and I
Yeah.
usually like rotate my running shoes out like every 250 miles or so. I get another pair.
That's so funny.
It's like tires.
And I remember my dad.
I think it's
doing
worse
that.
than tires. It's costing me more than my tires.
Yeah. I remember
You're
my
not
dad doing
Yeah.
that, and he would have I think 3 sets of shoes at all times, because he would walk in them for a certain amount of time to break them in, and then they would be upgraded to the running shoes.
Yeah.
And then when they were done running, he would use them just because we were cheap. He would use them for a little while longer.
He would wear them around the house.
like
right?
your
They were
play
his house
shoes.
shoes.
Yeah. But he definitely, when he started running, the shoe budget had to go up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So it's cool that they can get recycled for a good cause. So
Yeah, that's
you know.
what is it called?
I don't remember.
I'm blanking. It's a girl that went to Woodstock Academy that started it, and
Yeah.
then her sister took it over for her because she graduated last year.
Oh, okay.
So she took it over for her. It's a charity fundraising because they have to do community service at Woodstock, and that's what she started, was this shoe
Yeah.
fundraising. One of my friends brought it to me. It's like, oh, this would work for you, and it does. We keep it in the front, and people are like, people that aren't even members, do you still have that shoebox? I'm like, yeah, we do. You just come in the front door, drop them off.
Yeah, if they can reuse them, they ship them out to like people that need shoes, and then if not, I think when I was reading, I
They
think
get
they could, like,
recycled.
ground up into like used for like the tracks at schools and stuff to have like
Yeah,
used
the-
rubber and stuff. They
Yeah.
can use it for all that stuff.
Wow. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I was wondering what they did with them, but that's like they just basically can
It's all
use
on the
material,
box.
so.
It's all written right there.
Yeah. But that's all. I mean, I can't tell you how many of the small businesses just find ways to help.
Yeah.
And I love that your whole business model revolves around helping people, and
Yeah.
if you don't, your business model fails. So
You're not wrong.
So
I feel like
it's so
community-wise
cool.
too, that's a whole thing.
Right. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I love that's where you guys come from when you're trying to, promote your business and do business with everybody in the community and stuff like that. So, and the whole other thing about, multiple gyms in the area, because not every gym fits for everybody.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, for people to do their routine gym workouts, you usually got to be within 10, 15
It's the
minutes.
proximity, yeah. I mean,
of a drive.
we have people that drive from Wyndham to come to our gym, but there is another awesome there are more than one opportunity in Wyndham. If it's closer for them and it works out better for them and that fits in your routine, we would never discourage people from
Right.
No, it's like
branching
people say
out,
like
yeah.
a gym down the road is a competition. It's not a competition. The more gyms there are, the more exposure people see, the more they see it.
Right.
Oh, this is
Yeah.
probably a thing. Like maybe I should walk into one of these gyms.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And if we offer something that someone wants, that's great. But if we don't offer it and someone else does, I happily am like, hey, if you go talk to these guys for what they need, they
Right.
can help you with what you're looking for. And it's,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
people that are call us. Do you have personal trainers? I'm like, No, I don't have time for that right now in my schedule. Unless you want my 3-year-old to like hang on my leg while I personal train. It's probably not a great idea in this current moment in time. But and then we happily farm them out to other people that's their bread and butter, and that's where they make their money. And
Right.
I don't want to charge somebody for personal training if they're gonna get, not a full on coach.
Well,
it's not fair.
Yeah, and I would say the CrossFit with the different tiers, and you basically pick out what you want to do that day as far as the tiers go. And then if like, oh, my ankle hurts, and you guys are very good at like, all right, you don't have to do the running part because your ankle hurts, but here's like what
Here's a
you can
modification.
do. We isolate the ankle so you're not using it, and let it rest, and do the other exercises. So
Yeah, modifications, they happen a lot.
yeah.
We're not getting any younger.
I thought that's what happened at the gym. You get younger.
Nope, she watched me walk down the stairs this morning like a baby deer. So it happens when you get older.
You wanted to scoot like Sebastian, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Oh man. Do you guys want to shout out your address and your phone number and maybe your gym hours, that kind of thing?
So we're right at 208 on Providence Road in Brooklyn. It's pretty hard to miss us. It's coming down the straightaway right before Hearts. Our phone number is 860-917-2627. Or if you want to talk to Liz, it's 860-235-7773. You can find us on Facebook at Aisling.Fit, on Instagram at Aisling.Fit1.
Somebody had one already, huh?
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Actually, no. I do remember why. There's a girl in Australia who is Aisling. Like she does
That's
CrossFit,
right.
and
Name.
hers is Aisling.Fit. I was like, even with the dot, you had to put the dot in there.
All the way in.
But we have staffed hours in the mornings from 5 to 10:15, and then the afternoons 3:30 to 6:30. But being a business owner, our phones are usually within 5 feet of us, so reach out before dinner and bedtime. If not, I'll text you at 4 a.m. when I'm awake, and you probably don't want to text. So try and keep within those hours. But we try to really accommodate if someone wants to have a tour or something and it's not during staffed hours. We try our best to accommodate and meet people because I understand people's schedules are busy. And this is what we do. So we try to really be there for people as much as we can.
Yeah, especially if someone's interested in a 24-hour gym.
Yeah.
Yeah. My only advice to people, if you walk in our front doors and you don't see a staff desk, find our CrossFit room. You will always find a coach. If it's during staffed hours, our coaches are coaching. They're more than happy to guide you around and show you everything. But if you don't find us behind a desk in the lobby, it's because we're coaching people.
Just follow the music.
Yeah. Find the loud music and you'll likely find someone that can show you at least the right direction.
Right. That's awesome. What is it? I know I've asked you this before. What does Aisling mean?
So Aisling is a Gaelic term. It means dream or vision. And my dream was to like help as many people as possible. And that's how it all came around.
That's cool. And what's the symbol?
So that's the Celtic Awen. It's a Celtic rune. So the spear in the middle